Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our Spring Equinox 2024 ceremony. And boy, is it going to be a big one today. I don't even know that I have enough time to go over all of the stuff that is going on astrologically, with the downloads that I've been getting. I mean, there is so much happening right now. So I'm going to start diving in, but I love to see where everybody is coming from before we get started. Have anybody else been feeling the absolute intense energy that is coming to us? The intense energy of the upcoming lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, the energy from all of that has already started as we're in this space of the spring equinox and what is going on. I know for myself that I have felt the energy deeply, and I actually spent almost the last 3 days, except for when I got on my flight from Bali to Hong Kong, because I'm currently in Hong Kong on a layover, a 15-hour layover at that. And I spent the couple of days before that deep in meditation and journaling and fasting, healing an old karmic wound that was following me for, guess this, over 5,000 years, over 75 lifetimes. I repeated the same pattern in a situation. And I finally was able to release that and heal that so that I could free myself and my soul to do greater work in this world. I'm not quite ready to share what that is yet, but let me tell you, everybody is in the state right now of like, there's a lot of things to be healed and showing up for all of us. And so I'm really excited that you're all here for that to really understand what's going on. So we have Arizona, Canada, Colorado, Ohio, New Hampshire, Canada, Oregon, Florida, Arizona, Tennessee. Lots of people from the US today. Awesome. Colorado and New York and Atlanta and Wisconsin. Fabulous. Usually I have a very multi-dimensional group with a lot of people overseas, but I know this is a weird timing. This is all because of my being, on my layover here. So welcome everyone. I'm really excited to share with you what's happening with the energies of the world. So Isis came to me in a vision over the weekend, and it was pretty powerful. So she came to me in a vision, and she told me that all the truths would be unveiled, that I would have clear vision, that I would be able to see. And she gave me a vision of something that was happening in my life, and I saw clearly what was happening and what was going on. And it was like basically a psychic vision. I was actually transported into an experience and was able to see, what was happening and understood that. And she said that these truths are coming up to be revealed so that all can be healed, so that all these experiences can be moved. And then I had an Akashic Records reading and a healing around this thing, and that was when I found out about the 75 lifetimes. And Mother Mary came through as one of my guides, and then all of a sudden, Isis came through, and she was sharing some even more stuff in the Akashic readings and what is going on with us in this energy right now. Right now, so Isis, for those of you that don't know, she is an Egyptian goddess, but she was the goddess of love, healing, fertility, magic, the moon. She's connected to Venus and to Mother Mary. So Mother Mary being a starseed of Venus, and Isis was this like cosmic deity with these associations with magic and the moon and the sun and the stars. But she was also the goddess of the fertility or the spring, right? And she was this one where she initiated you. So think about springtime as the awakening, the bursting through of things as they start to sprout through to newness, right? The initiation of something coming into us. And she governed this season and the ongoing fertility of life. And she's also known as the death doula. Well, what does that mean? Well, do you guys ever feel like you're going through death? Think of the phoenix, the rising. Well, the key with going through a death is that there is always rebirth, but the death can feel like hell. Anyone else agree? Feel like hell? Yeah. I'd love to know in the chats if anybody else has been going through the death or any of those types of feelings. Oh, here we got more people. Belgium. Fantastic. So she is a death doula. She is there to like help wash away, get rid of a bunch of the things that are no longer serving us and literally bring about a feeling of death in our lives, or, but so that we can have rebirth. And it's fascinating that for me, that right now, this springtime, this is also happening when we have this lunar eclipse, solar eclipse cycle, which is also about all of your karmic shit coming up now to be healed. Now, these cycles come around here and there, but the thing is like, do we actually do the work to heal them? Do we actually go in and say, I'm going to do this? Or do we do escapism? Do we go and do bad things or negate or ignore or do any, right? Instead of feeling our emotions and working through it and going in and doing the deep work, we go and we act out instead, right? So this is a karmic cycle. And so I want all of you to think about what was going on in your life in October of 2023. October 2023, this eclipse cycle is attached to that eclipse cycle. And it has everything to do with the spring equinox and Isis. So for me, in October of 2023, I was on so I've had 2 3-week trips that I was traveling in Europe. And in October of 2023, on that 3-week trip, the same thing that happened in my life this time, in a different experience, the experience that something happened that was very challenging, but it brought me massive anxiety. I couldn't breathe. I was in a really, really distraught state. And I, in Europe for probably 5 or 6 days, to the point of where, I felt like, I was triggered. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't know what was going on. And it was really bad for me. And, so I went through this experience of learning and trying to find what my triggers were and everything like that. So then when this same exact experience, with an extra component to it, showed up, because of course, if you don't heal something, right, what happens? The universe gives you the whisper. It gives you the feather. It gives you the nice way. But every time that you go in and you have this pattern or this thing that you're trying to heal, or this wound or this karmic experience that you're trying to heal, and you don't do the work on it, guess what? It hits you harder. It's like the 2x4. So I got the 2x4 this time, but you know what? It was beautiful, because the 2x4 for me didn't send me into panic. It didn't send me into anxiety. It immediately healed my core wound of abandonment and rejection. Immediately. I saw within what was happening the truth of who I was. I didn't respond. And I just was, I allowed myself to be in a different space. And I felt the dissolving of that. Now, my abandonment and rejection has been something that I've been working on for a really long time. And if you have an abandonment and rejection wound, like I did, you will trigger inadequacy wounds in someone else. So you guys are playing out karmic roles in these experiences at times, right? So I have this deep wound that I've been working on for years, but sometimes you have to bring in experiences or people into your life to finally heal something. And that's what I've done. I brought this in to finally heal this core wound for myself. And so immediately I responded differently. I felt that shifting. I no longer felt that I was unlovable or any of those things that were just deep core. And of course I know all these things and I do all this work, and I was like, oh, why is this thing still there? And then Isis came to me and gave me clear vision and showed me what was going on. And I knew even deeper that this wasn't. And then I was able to go back and have 75 lifetimes of this pattern cleared. And so that I could, I created a vow in a lifetime over 5,000 years ago that I repeated 75 times, that I was able to finally clear, because I was able to go do the work to allow for this experience to happen. So really think about right now in your life, what is the karmic cycle for you? What is the thing that is that the death doula that Isis is coming in to help you get rid of, or to resist or walk away from or heal? Because healing and death, and this is the other thing, healing and death and rebirth doesn't necessarily mean that the thing that you're healing or letting go of. So like I had to let go of something that was so incredibly important to me. I mean, obviously, if I've held it for 75 lifetimes, over 5,000 years, then the amount of pain and tears that I had to go to release that vow, that I was like, and I had to really think about it. Do I want to release that? I had vowed to do something for the rest of my life. I mean, all lifetimes. And I didn't know if I really wanted to let it go. And I had to really be like, but the freedom of letting that vow go gives me the freedom in this life to make the choice for that experience from a whole, healed, incredible place. And that doesn't mean that that I'm going to lose that thing, or that I'm going to not have it anymore. And maybe it does, and I get to have something even greater. I don't know, right? We don't know. But death doesn't mean necessarily, like if you're looking at, like I had death of a business, right? My business, I walked away from my business in 2022. It was the death of the business, and it has, I'd have a new business to revitalize, and it's even more beautiful. So it was a transformation. It was a death, but it's now something new, right? Or, it could be in a relationship. It could be, maybe it's the death of something in a relationship. Maybe it's just the death of all the trauma, and it's time for it to heal. Or maybe it is time to move on, right? We don't know. But if you don't heal those karmic wounds, you're always going to be coming from this place of living into those soul contracts, or those that karma, or those vows, instead of healing it from a great place. So Isis came through today talking about this initiation into ourselves and into our healing, and into allowing us to embrace this, symbolic spiritual death as part of how we become more alive. She came through and she said, you are here to usher in the golden age. You cannot do that holding on to this piece. And so we are bring in karmic players and experiences into our life so we can keep playing out. It's like a role, right? They came to the bus stop and they said, oh, you've done this 74 lifetimes and you still haven't figured it out. We're going to go one more round, Melissa. Right? And so 74 lifetimes, I get this karmic experience and get to do this thing. And then I finally say, am I going to do it in this lifetime? And I said, if I don't heal it in this lifetime, I don't get to be the leader that I'm supposed to be, that bring in the golden age, to allow for what the transformation. So what is it for you that you're holding back, or not allowing this death to heal for you, that's going to allow you to sprout through now in the spring, right? In this opening, this awakening that we're coming into. So we shed these skins that we've outgrown, right? Just like when you think of like the snake, right? The snake sheds its skin when it outgrows it. A snake is actually a symbol of like growth and cleansing and purification and renewal. And so right now, in this energetic window of the spring equinox, not only do we have the death doula saying, this is your initiation, your shit's going to fly, everything's going to get intense, there's going to be karmic things playing out, and then it's also saying, but this is an energetic window of creation. Think of spring, think of fertility, think of the ways that you can grow and the things that are going to come when you clear out all of this shit. And so when you think about this, this plays out in a couple of ways. One, other people's shit is not yours. When someone is projecting something onto you, right, it is because they're also there to heal their karmic stuff, their story, their thing. So you're a role in their karmic play, and you have your own karmic play that you're playing out. But you can opt out of being the karmic player in someone's life, right? When everyone's shit is flying and all this stuff's going on, you can opt out, but you have to be coming from a place of centeredness and of knowing who you are to be able to do that. So how many of you feel like you're in a karmic play of some sort right now? Yeah, just put a 1 in the chat if you feel like this matches with what you're feeling or what you're going through. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. A lot of different people are showing up. Yeah. Going through a lot. Yeah. Me too. Me too. I've meditated and you know, like I said, like the stuff that I've gone through, if I've hold it out, it is my deepest core wound, my deepest core wound, um, that I came to heal, and it happened now. So I see you, I hear you, I understand you, and no matter, you know, like I'm here being your guide right now, but we are all guides in our own way, and we all teach each other. And so I'm honored to be your guide, but as I grow and I learn and my guides, and you know, and I get these things, it allows me to be more balanced. And so Isis and Mother Mary and several other uh, ascended masters and guides have come in to work with me, and that's why I was asked to open a mystery school, and the mystery school is opening in a couple of weeks. And I was asked to open this mystery school, and I really fought against it because I was like, who am I? What do I know? You know, I don't feel ready for this. But I said yes, and I said yes. If that's what you want me to do, then you bring the people that are meant to be a part of this, because I need to I need to know that this is not coming from me. This is not my ego. This isn't something I want to do. I need to know that this is divinely inspired and aligned from somewhere else. And that was when all of these things started coming in, and I've been getting deeper and deeper experiences. We were just in Bali for the Bali Bliss Retreat, and actually a couple of my wonderful attendees were there. And on one of the nights when we were working with Isis and Sekhmet and Mother Mary, we had a gentleman, a dear friend of mine, his name is Bon, who is a massage therapist, energy healer, all sorts of crazy stuff. He was in there doing work on Barbara in the back room while the rest of us were in ceremony. And when they walked out, he walked out and he said, who are those three women and that man? And Barbara's like, he was like, who are those three women and that man that are there? It turned out, because he could see them, we were literally working, because I was sitting in meditation and calling in these energies and working with them with the group. And I said, I need a sign that this is real, that this is not just me, you know, because I feel it, I see it, but I don't see them like this. I want to see you, you know, I want to see you like in physical form in front of me. I don't want to just hear you or feel you. Obviously, because of my own blocks, and I know some of my karmic stuff that I was holding on to, I was a reason I couldn't see in that kind of way, but I could feel and I could hear. So Bon was my eyes, and it was Ra and Sekhmet and Isis and Mother Mary that were in the villa with us in Bali. And so at that moment, I stopped questioning everything. And then when the experience happened, where Isis then came to me in her big, beautiful wings, and to tell me that the truth would be unveiled to me, I saw that. So the things that I'm sharing here and stuff are things that I'm leading into this deep experience that we have a bunch of wonderful people already signed up for. And if you're interested, you can find out more at the end of this, what we're doing. But this was like, it's again that faith of like, how do we heal these things so that we can step into the golden age? What are you here to be sharing, teaching, with the world? What's holding you back when, it's time to release that and let it go? Isis also, when it comes to the spring, she is about, creativity and the idea of movement in the sacral chakra area. So emotion, into the place of because think about when you birth something, right? Femininity, fertility, magic, birthing, sacral chakra area. And so that's connected to the element of water and fluidity, and how do we allow ourselves to flow in that space. So I've talked enough for a few minutes. I'm going to just put on a little beautiful thing to something to ground us into this moment and into this time, and then we're going to do this initiation that Isis has that Isis wants to have shared with us today. So we're just going to start here and just do. We're gonna invoke the protection of the goddess Isis before we go diving into this initiation today, and then I'm gonna start giving you some more of the information of what's going on for this time and what we're doing. Okay. So just take a moment and just listen to this, closing your eyes.
Namaste.
When I was recently in Chile doing my shamanic training right before I went to Bali, I was learning about soil and the power of fertile soil to allow things to grow. And so, with what you're planting this spring, that you want to see come into fruition in your life, is your soil, your foundation. Is it fertile? Is it full of minerals? Is it full of love? Is it full of the things that you need? And if not, then that's where you need to start. You don't start at the planting. You start at creating the soil. And so if you have access to, if you have a candle, if you got the email about bringing a candle or something with you, if you don't, it's okay. I don't have a candle with me here. I left all my tea lights in Bali because I was doing a ceremony in my room, and I used them all. If you don't, at some point in the next 24 hours, just light a candle for this a candle. Yeah, perfect. You lit your candle when you popped on. That's great. You can have the candle the whole time. I love it. But we want to start to talk about this initiation, and we're going to use the candle as the symbol of Ra. So Isis, when we're talking about initiation, when you're being initiated into the mysteries of light and love and power, there are these moments of deep challenge. And the key is to finding the light in the challenge, the learning, the growth, or the wisdom that can be summoned to turn that challenge into an opportunity for healing. So the Ra is the scorching heat, right? He burns through any resistance. He gets through all of this stuff, and it's fire and it's hot. And then you have Lady Isis, who comes in with her compassion and her cleverness, and she's going to protect you from that, burning, and so that you're able to be nourished and grow from the light instead. Think of the sun, right? The sun is what we get vitamin D from. We need it, but if we get too much of it, it will burn our skin. I got a little bit of a sunburn in Bali for the first time in years. So we have to understand that this light, it's there to initiate us, to burn us, to allow us to burn up the things that we want. But if it's too intense, if the challenge you're going through, the thing you're trying to move, that karmic shit that's going to show up, because it's coming, right? There's a bunch of stuff going on that's showing up in your life, is too intense, then you can allow yourself to be protected from that. So you don't have to be burnt by the candle. It can be something that is healing, something that is powerful for you. In that sometimes the feelings and the emotions and the things can be so unbearable that it cleanses our soul. It cleanses our soul of the wounds and of love, and allows us to feel more love. But it can be super unbearable. That was, for me over the weekend, the experience that I had was so unbearable to my system that I actually went into trauma and shock. I was catatonic, because it was the fire, right? It was raw, but when I came out of it was the most intense by far, a degrading thing that I've ever heard someone say to me in my life, kind of thing, right? Like I'd never in my life had, but in that moment I was catatonic and I went into this trauma response. But at the same time, it was so powerful that it allowed me to know that it was not me, that I had that, and I sat in that truth of none of this is me. I know that none of this is true, and it was so powerful. So sometimes the burning, the worst, the thing that you fear the most is the thing that you need the most. That's going to allow you to finally realize, oh, not me, have nothing to do with me. This is not my thing. Okay. I can heal this now. I can heal this now. So we're going to be doing just a little bit of an initiation where we can let go of that. So if you have that candle, you can just light that candle, and we're going to be just imagining. And even if you want, And when you're done with this, you can write down on a piece of paper something that you want and burn that in the candle or burn it later. You know, the fire ceremony and releasing is really powerful for this. So just become aware of the dark space within your heart. So just close your eyes after you have your candle lit. Set it down. Just becoming aware of that quiet, dark space within your heart that is peaceful and vast. Just allow your awareness to travel within you until you are aware of a light in the distance, far, far away. Begin to travel towards the light and become aware of a great sun shining so powerfully that if you kept traveling towards it, it would surely incinerate you. And although there's such intensity, you still feel drawn to this light, right? You feel drawn to the power of it. And you just sense the divine presence within it, ancient, powerful. And you know it's here to serve you. It's here to burn up your karma. It's here to burn up your experiences. But sometimes the light can be so intense that you need a bit of protection. And so suddenly you feel this sweet, cool breeze fanning over you as the wings of Isis float around you, offering you protection and assistance. Her loving gaze and her protective, cool barrier allows you to burn up what's not serving you, to play out karmic roles without it destroying you. And now imagine that here with Isis and her wings spread around you, that she holds up a beautiful, sacred, golden plate before you. I want you to think of a struggle or a question or an issue or a concern that you're ready to surrender today to the divine wisdom of Ra, to the great central sun, to that which is greater than you, knowing it has the power to consume and destroy any human issue with its great heat and nuclear power. So using your mind or your soul or your thoughts or any way that you know how, just place that issue or that thought or that concern that you're ready to release now on that sacred plate. Maybe it's getting etched like a tattoo or written on the side of this golden plate, just allowing it to move out of your body. What is one thing that you're ready to let go of? What's the karmic cycle that you've maybe played for 75 lifetimes that you're now ready to say go? When you have put that intention or that thing or whatever it is, that problem, that issue, that challenge on that golden plate, just sending all of it, anything else that you want to release. Lady Isis in her wisdom winks at you. And she takes that golden plate and she flings it right into the center of the sun. And you see and feel and notice as it bursts into flames and dissolves and crumbles and eradicates right into the belly, and it's gobbled up and it's burned away. Feel that release in your body. And now, as you're creating new soil, new fertile soil, that is no longer bugged. Got all rid of those pests that were inside that soil of yours. You're going to start to travel back from that vast openness and into the center of your heart. And imagine that you're in a beautiful garden and you're getting ready to plant something new, and you're looking at the soil and you're running your hands through it, and you're sending love and energy to this soil, the foundation of who you are. What is it that you need right now? Is it love? Is it compassion? Is it grace? What is an emotion? Excitement, joy, bliss? What are the emotions that you need to put into this soil that are going to allow your garden to grow? As we hear on the day of equal day and night, equinox means equal. We are here at this time where there's a balance to everything. That's the energy of today, where balance of the energy of the equinox allows you to be in the fertile soil of your garden and plant. So what are you planting? First, your emotions, the good ones, the things that you want to feel. Start to feel them in your body, raising up that feeling to like an 8 or a 9 or a 10. As both Isis and Mother Mary stand there, the Virgin Mothers, right? Both of them light conception. They are the moments of fertility and birth as they usher in this equinox, this balance of day and night for you. And now looking and saying, what am I intending to plant today in my new garden? And go in and dig into that beautiful soil of love and compassion and happiness and joy, and take that little seedling and bury it deep in there. And know that everything comes in divine timing and with fruition. And as you plant this and set this intention, know that it is going to start manifesting, creating in your external life. But don't be scared when it doesn't show up right away, because it's in the ground. It needs to be nurtured and watered. How do you water it every day? By living into the experience of it already, as if it's already there. Feeling it in your body, feeling the love, the excitement, the joy, the things that are part of your soil that are going to grow that thing inside there. So now just put your ear down to the ground of your garden. And as you start to hear and see and feel, even though the activity is all underground, you can feel the intention manifesting, creating, moving, as the magic of Isis And the love and compassion of Mother Mary allow for this energy to set this intention in there. I want you to feel and see and notice and just sit in this experience. Feel it in your body. It is your birthright to let go of your karmic stuff, and it is your birthright to live into your deepest intentions. I want you to recreate and imagine, see, feel a day where this intention, when it is already living in your life, and I want you to create that vision in your mind, and I want you to hold that vision for as long as you can. As we sit here in this intention, as we let this soil become fertile. Allowing yourself to go into the void of creation. Slowly starting to come back to this space and this time. Taking out your journal for just a moment, and on separate pieces of paper in your journal, or maybe the stuff that you want to release, you might not even write in the journal. Maybe you write it on a separate paper and you go burn that in your candle, or release and let that go. But pull out your journal and write down what seeds are you planting. And I'd love to hear in the chat, please. Like, I would love to share with everyone what, I believe when your garden grows, when it is watered by people you love. And I say, when you're growing a garden, when you're planting your seeds, only share it with those that are going to be 100% in support of your growth. Don't let Monsanto come in with his pesticides and shoot pest killer, with his pesticide killer and on your garden and kill all of your plants. Share it with those that are going to honor it and to say yes to it and be in community with that. So write that down and then share in the chat. What are you planting? What seeds, intentions are you creating for this spring equinox? Yeah. Beautiful, Jennifer. Thank you. Jennifer said, Divine Mother of all life, take me to that place deep within your womb where I can do nothing and be reborn anew. That was really beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful, Jennifer. Thank you. Jennifer said, all right. I am invincible. I planted to let go of what I cannot control, continue my journey to heal my past traumas, planted abundance in all things, growth, success, humbleness, love, seeds of grace, ease, flow, love, and light. Beautiful. Unbounded love, compassion, and kindness. Yes. Yes, yes. So Carl Jung says, to confront a person with his shadow is to show him his own light. Once he has experienced a few times what it is like to stand judgingly between the opposites, one begins to understand what it is meant by the self. Anyone who receives his shadow and his light simultaneously sees himself from two sides and thus gets in the middle. And that's what this season is here to teach us right now. We just came into Aries. March 18th is, the sun entered Aries. And pretty soon, tomorrow, for most of you, it's actually March 20th for me right now, but for you that are on March 19th still, we have the sun, Mercury going conjunct with Chiron, and Chiron is the planet known as the wounded hero. So here it's the micro megaphone that will promote discussions. So we're going through these karmic cycles. We've got all of these things coming on, and now we're getting into this Mercury Chiron conjunct, which is going to promote discussions about our deepest wounds, our pain points, and the medicine needed to remedy them. Apropos that I will be home very soon to be able to have lovely discussions. I'm so excited. Anybody else, do you like doing the deep work? I mean, it's not easy, but I love it. I love doing the deep work and being like, how can I dig in more and do more of this deep work and heal my last parts of the things, right? And this Aries season is, it's about the self. It's about the energetic materialization of new life, right? Creativity, courage. It's a fire sign. It's bold, it's brave. Isis is seen with a big the solar sun behind her, protecting you from Ra, all that. So we've got all of this, it torches all reason. And sometimes it can, when it's at its worst, it can, conquer, dominate, burn bridges and hope, torch all reason, any attempt at reconciliation. But when it's at its best, it's bold, it's brazen, it's individual, it's self-asserted. And so we got to find, how do we play with both sides of these things, right? Like, how do we really play with both sides of these? Okay, what else we got? Abundance in all things, finances, love, light, laughter, passion, creativity, joy. Seed planning for spring. All projects approved and staff to handle work so that Claudia and I may focus our energies on healing and guiding. Yes, I love this. These are all so beautiful. Release the need to control as well as fear and anxiety. Okay, beautiful. A beautiful garden filled with seeds of deep compassion and beauty. Yeah, awesome. Wow. I love, love, love this. So, um, moving into some of these other things that you want to do, like you can, if you have things that you want to release and you're doing this fire ceremony, you want something simple, you can take like matchsticks and blow all of the stuff that you're releasing. I know we did that releasing into the golden plate today, but there's other ways like physical releasing that you can do to and then burning them in your candle or in your flame or in a fire, right? And then because it is spring, get outside and get your hands in nature, hug a tree, maybe plant. You know, this is what I like to physically represent in my physical world, something that I'm planting um, in my actual, in my relative world or whatever, put it in my actual world. So maybe you want to go actually plant something that is physical that you can watch grow that represents what you are planting. So maybe you're going to plant a garden, and maybe you're going. But I always pick one specific like piece of like this flower is specifically about this, right? This is about this. So yeah, you know, that way you can bring into the material and physical, right? We are here spiritual. We are spiritual beings with a physical body, right? Our essence actually coalesces in. We are not bodies with a spirit. We are spirits with a body. And so, but we want to marry the physical and the spiritual. So finding ways to integrate this into your physical reality is going to be really powerful. So how many of you here are, yeah, I want you to put a 1 in the comments if you, well, I know several of you are already signed up for the mystery school. Put a 1 in the comments if you want to hear more about what's going on with the mystery school that's starting in April. And then if you do, I will share. Okay, great. And for those of you that don't care about what's going on, I want to say many blessings and I love you so much. But I'm gonna stay on for a few minutes for those that are interested in hearing about what we have going on in the mystery school. So as I said before, the Sacred Soul Alchemy Mystery School opens up. Our first class meeting is on April 2nd. And it is a 3-month deep dive into the lineage of the Essenes, Mother Mary, Isis, all the way back into Venus as as one of the planets of love, and this whole experience that's coming through that, along with my quantum DNA work, hermetic principles, sound frequency, sacred geometry. So I'm taking my quantum world and my neuroscience and my work and all of that, and combining it with what I now know to be true about how these two things all play together into light language and the ways that we work and things like that. And so it's a 12-week program that is going to be a precursor to a either 9-month or 12-month program next year that I've been playing with. And so that was what we did in Bali. Actually, is Stephanie on here? Stephanie or Barbara that were just that just went through some of this stuff. Yeah, I see. Stephanie. Is it weekly? Yeah. So there are weekly sessions for 12 weeks along with weekly. You're going to come into my world. Like I'm actually going to be in ceremony with you. So we'll be having one ceremony a week where I walk you through what I do. So it'll be a morning, my morning rituals. And those will be at different times so that I can hit different parts of the world, because we have people in Europe that have signed up. We also have people in Australia that have signed up, and we have people from this time frame of the world. Well, I'm not in Hong Kong right now. No. From the U.S. Up and down. So we are we will have those ceremonies at different times, but there will be a weekly deep intensive healing cleaning course, working together, learning the step-by-step process. We're actually going through 12 chakras in 12 weeks, and each of the the messages and the goddesses. There's my Barbara. I see Barbara's hand. Um, I just can't find you on the. There you are. Oh, here I'm gonna bring you up to the front and unmute you. Add pen. And
Okay,
so
can you
there.
hear me
So
now?
hi, it's working. Hi, I miss
Yep.
you so much. I just saw you in Bali.
I know, and it was amazing. And I am signed up for the mystery school, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
you
so when we were in Bali, part of the 7 days that we spent in the retreat was a kind of simulation of some of the things that we're going to be going through at the mystery school. So, would you want to share a little bit about your experience? Because I think that will give people an idea of what they might have in store. Because it'd be easier
First of
to.
all, I had a lot of revelations. For one, we did a lot of meditations, and I set a lot of intentions, and they were really good and healthy, and seemed to be coming to fruition, at least on their way. Um, I came back from that, and people said, four different people told me that something must have happened because I looked so much different. So there's a
Mm.
transformation that happened, and I feel different. I
And then did you
I
enjoy
don't.
learning, like when everything was there and learning about, well, how all of the different things aligned with all of your different chakras and the mudras? And because we go through, we talk about like what are the mudras that go with each symbol? Like what is the sacred geometry that goes with it? What is the sound, the mantra, right? So, and we're actually practicing those things, but then you're also working through the deep transformation of each one of those levels. Like each goddess or ascended master or like the Essenes with the mirrors has their own wisdom of what's something that we're moving through or transforming or going to the next experience about. So
Yes,
and we really focus on those things.
yes, and as a yoga teacher, I would say that I'm very familiar with much of that, but it was a deeper dive. There was time to go deeper into every single aspect of it. And Stephanie's on here. I can see her now, and she's shaking her head yes, and has raised her hand. So she
All
probably
right.
has something to add.
I'll bring up Steph too.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Hey, Steph.
Hello.
Hi. Can oh, by the way, so just so that everybody else here knows, so part of what we're doing next year is we're going to Egypt in early March, and they're already coming. So we're doing we're going to be going through Egypt, and instead of Bali next year, we're doing Egypt instead. So that's super exciting. What was your experience of some of the teachings from the mystery school, and what you felt and noticed from the guides that came in?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm still integrating
Yeah.
everything that happened in Bali. There were many revelations for me during retreat, and still I'm exhausted still of, like how much is going on, and I feel inside like vibration wise. I believe one of the things that have changed completely is that I'm feeling things more deep. If I'm feeling the energies I couldn't before, kind of like I felt them, but not in a vibrational way.
Mm,
That's something that I notice has changed a lot. I feel different. I'm experiencing things different. Um, the way I'm seeing things as well, kind of like my perspective changed a lot about many things. And I don't know, even when I talk with people, it's like I don't engage that much, in things that don't really matter.
yeah.
And but at the same time, I'm respecting the point of view of people, even though it might be very different than mine. But I kind of like I'm more compassionate to the process each one of us is in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a completely different energy. I'm still kind of like figuring it out, because it feels strange. It's not
Yeah.
like it feels
Yeah.
completely different
Well, and
of
that
what
and
I
that's
was
why I
used
mean you
to.
have that intensive 7 days, but that's why when with what I'm offering for them, they're coming in for the for 12 weeks. You get that 3 months of like this integration of like what the heck how do I really work with this and put these things in
Exactly.
into my life every day. And so that's my goal with that. So thank you. And I miss you. Thank you so much,
I
love.
miss you too.
But we have 5
Well,
spots left. That's all I have left. And so if you are interested in, this is by conversation only, just because, since this is my first round of doing this, I want to know the energy of every person coming into this group. And so this is something I rarely do. I usually just put up a link and be like, sign up and join me. And I'm not doing that this time. And every single person that I have spoken to personally. So in the chat, I just put in a link for a virtual latte. I have spots opening. I'm obviously not doing any calls this week because I'm flying back to the U.S. and I get back to the U.S. Wednesday night. I get back to home in Ohio Wednesday night, and then I'm going to take the weekend for my partner and I. So I'll start on Monday, and I will fill those 5 spots next week. So if you want to talk to me about it and see if it's a good fit for you, I will give you all of the deep details. And besides, we get to have a little conversation. So use the link that I just put in there to schedule a virtual latte with me, so you can have whatever your latte is a golden milk or a coffee or a matcha latte, and put that in there and join me for a short conversation and see if one of the 5 spots that are left is going to be a good fit for you. So I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. You don't know how beautiful and healing it was for me today to be able to do this with you and have this experience. I could have just, done my layover in Hong Kong and floated around and whatever, but I really decided that because I'm flying for literally 41 hours, in transit for 41 hours from Bali to to Ohio, that I wasn't going to be able to do anything on the Spring Equinox unless I did it at this time, and I'm super glad that I did, because I needed your energy and every single one of you there. So many blessings, everyone. Thank you so much. And don't forget to schedule a chat with me for next week. I have 5 spots left, and I'm really excited to see who Isis and Mary pull in, because they're the ones calling everybody in. I'm just here, filtering and saying hello, but they've literally filled this thing with who they want to be in the initiations of this work. So, okay. Bye, everybody.